if you've joined us on the Facebook Live event, give us the old thumbs up. Scribble in a little comment or type in a comment below, and it helps get this promoted so people see what we're doing. And our goal, Andrea and I, every Tuesday, the reason we're here is we want to bring you information that will help you improve your health.
Right. That's our goal.
That's the goal. Hey, I was just reading this morning. This is a study, a landmark study that was published in 2018, just last year. It reveals that Americans are delaying the rate of aging. What do you think of that?
I think we are. I know I am.
Isn't it cool that we can delay aging?
Yeah, the new 80 is, or the 80 is the new 60. Is that how they put it?
Yep, and the new 60 or 60 is the new 50 based on what they're saying. And they're saying that biological ages over the large U.S. population group from the year 1988 to 1994, and they compared them to 2007 to 2010, and they found that age-matched participants were biologically younger.
That's great. We're going to get even more younger.
That's right. And so it's all the things that we talk about here. I think we try and help people do that. And they're saying that because of the biotechnology, the things that we know now, we can actually speed up that slowing down even better with modifiable health behaviors.
Yes.
So, but they're saying that this is the sad part. They're saying that as a population, we've gotten more obese, we've gotten more overweight.
Yeah, I believe that. We're too sedentary.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that on Friday on the fitness and weight loss community call that we do on Friday nights. But talk a little bit more about blood sugar and that. Today, Andrea, I wanted to talk a little bit about circadian rhythm.
What is that, Doc?
Well, so they found that we all have a built-in clock in our body. And a lot of people think, well, yeah, sure, we got a clock that tells us when to go to sleep and when to wake up. But we've got other clocks as well. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah, we've got clocks that tell us when to exercise. We've got clocks that tell us when to absorb our food. We've got clocks that really control our hormones and our sleep and our temperature and our metabolism, even our behavior.
Right. Yeah, there's a sensor in the eyes that measures blue light.
Right.
It kind of tells the body when you should be shutting down and when you should be waking up.
That's right. I mean, can you imagine looking out your window and seeing a tree or some grass or a plant that doesn't follow the built-in clock that's been built into it, hardwired into it for millions of years?
Yeah. Well, what's amazing, I do a lot of gardening. And I've noticed that the flowers grow overnight. That's when they grow.
That's
at
right.
night.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when they spend their time growing in. And certain plants, they have a oscillating, you'll watch the leaves do this.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the wind. It's not always because of the wind, right?
Right.
And so it's doing that. And they found that certain plants will continue that oscillation. You want to see that again? You want to see how that works?
I can see it.
It does that. It does that even in total darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to stand in the garden and see a plant do that.
Right? That reminds me of a joke. My office manager way back about 20 years ago, she asked me, she said, well, it's not really a joke. It's a real life event. About 20 years ago, she said, have you ever seen corn? Have you ever listened to corn? She said.
Yeah, was she talking about the band?
She was talking about the band. I knew she was talking about the band because she was from that age group. But she asked me, she said, have you ever listened to Korn? And I was joking with her, and I said, yeah, I've actually listened to Apple Trees too. and Wheat. And she looked at me like, what kind of weirdo are you? But, you know, if you delete the clock, the built-in clock, what's going to happen is you're going to suffer the consequences, right?
Right, because your body functions best, if you're operating the way it was designed.
That's right. And hey, by the way, I like your new haircut. It looks nice.
Thanks.
Right? So we have the, and I jotted down some notes as I was looking at things this morning. So we've got this 24-hour pattern, and really, when you think about it, timing is everything. We're hardwired. We've been hardwired for millions of years. We've got this master clock, and you were talking about the pineal gland, but the suprachiasmatic nucleus is actually considered the master clock. And do you know what part of the brain that's found in?
The suprachiasmatic nucleus?
Yeah. You must be watching this on Facebook because you're having a delay in listening to what I'm saying. Shut off your Facebook and listen to it on Zoom.
No, I'm not watching it on Facebook.
Oh, okay. It looks like you're getting that 20-second delay that Facebook or that.
No, there's a little bit of technical problems over here.
Okay. Yeah, it's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and it's a cell that's populated with all these genes that carry out the function of being the master clock.
Really? And where is that located?
It's found in the part of the brain called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus.
Where is that?
Right? But, think about all the people that...
So it controls all the other clocks?
It controls all the other clocks. It's like the chief executive officer. It's like the Aaron of your brain. It's like the Aaron Renard of your brain.
Okay.
Right? And so if we want to continue, and this is why I'm bringing this up, is that if we want to continue to see this slowing down of the aging process, if we want to reduce the wear and tear of our body, we want to keep that clock working, like clockwork, right?
Right.
We want to keep it working all the time. We want to have a robust clock that's working all the time. And what's gonna happen is that if we keep doing that, we're gonna decrease our risk of chronic disease. We're gonna have long-term benefits on our overall health span, right? We've talked about lifespan, but now when we start talking about health span, we can increase that health span.
Yeah, I was reading that they did a study, and people who slept, well, we're kind of getting into the weight thing here, but people who slept 4 hours a night ate about 300 more calories a day than people who slept 8 to 9 hours a night.
Wow. Well, that's, it's kind of funny. I was just going to talk about, sleep disruption and how when you don't get proper sleep, if you're not listening to your sleep clock, it does. It increases your risk of diabetes. It increases your risk of obesity. It increases your risk of cardiovascular disease.
Yeah.
Heart disease.
Your body repairs itself at night when you're sleeping, and you need that downtime for reparation.
Yep, you need that downtime to repair and replace cells. That's probably when most of your stem cells are going to work, aren't they?
I would think so.
Yeah. And so lack of sleep, they found that, this is kind of interesting. I was reading this morning. Lack of sleep even causes it so you have that lack of ability to recognize facial expression.
Really? That's interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it? So you'll have to test that on your grandchildren when they stay up late and just see if they recognize, like take and put a photo in front of them, say, is this person happy or sad?
Ah,
You can do your own research project.
I could. I have enough grandkids to do that.
You do, right? You have your own peer group that you could use.
Right.
You could take half of them, have a control study. Right on. I'm for it, right? Keep like a group of them, keep them awake all night, like keep them awake for an entire night one time. See what happens.
No, thanks. I did that the other night. I felt like crap all day the next day.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there's some nights, that I just don't get enough sleep. Sometimes my brain just keeps working overtime, so I don't get to sleep at night. But did you know that they've actually shown that like a decreased length of sleep is actually better than having disrupted sleep?
Really? Well, I think it's how deeply you sleep. Isn't that the key?
Right, getting into that REM sleep, they call it. Yeah, and so there's certain things that you can do. They say, like, if you paint your bedroom like a blue, blue is actually the best color for getting good sleep.
My bedroom is blue.
So is mine. Right after I read that, I painted the room blue.
You ran right down to Home Depot and bought some paint, right?
I did. I actually did. I bet within 3 days of reading the study, I did that.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep the other night, and I found some YouTube video that was like playing this melodious music and had the river running and the birds chirping, and it said, guaranteed fall asleep in 3 minutes. 3 hours later, I was still listening to it.
You were still listening to it because you're trying to listen closely and hear the sleeping part, right?
Right. Instead, I had pretty crazy dreams afterwards.
Yeah. But a lot of people, they think that you watch the sun go up and they watch the sun go down, and they think that that's all aspects of it. But there's a lot more to it than just that.
Right.
And so we're not all from the same cookie cutter.
Right.
We don't all have the same pattern. In fact, I would say that we're all totally different. Each one of us has totally different patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are morning people. And
oh, yeah. I'm not.
You're not.
I'm an evening person.
Yeah. It depends on the time of the year for me. I find that, like, this time of the year, when I can't go outside and sit on my deck right away in the morning, I'd rather be a later in the day person. I seem like I get my peak energy later in the day.
I get mine about 11 o'clock at night.
11 at night.
I do. I always have, like, it's right time to go to bed, and I'm like, okay, I have all these things in my head I want to do right now. Right.
But that's your clock is built different. So, you just gotta play with that, and you gotta go with that. Some people need less sleep. Some people find that they can get by with less sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. That's okay. It's not a one size fit all, because a lot of it, there's genetic factors, there's environmental factors, there's just like living here in North Dakota, we don't have a lot of sunshine. Yesterday or today, it's dark out. It's dark out. Can you imagine having one of those jobs where it's on shifts, where this week you're working from 8 till 4, but then you get a couple days off, and then you got to go from 4 to 11.
Yeah, the swing shift. Yeah,
swing shift. Yeah, that's what it's called.
No, that would be extremely hard on your body, I would think.
And that's what they're showing, is that it's really, really hard on people.
Right.
And it messes up with all their cycles inside, and causes problems, causes health problems. So we want to establish a routine that really works around our cycle. And what happens to a lot of people is that, and you'll notice it on Friday afternoon, or you'll notice it sometimes even on Wednesday, right? What's that saying?
I don't know. What is it?
Thank God it's Friday.
Oh, on Wednesday?
Yeah, some people, they're already thanking God that Friday's only 2 days away, right?
I have never heard that, but I've heard Thursday's the new Friday.
But
Everybody-
a lot of people, they look forward to Friday because then guess what they do on Friday?
They don't have to work.
Well, they don't have to work Saturday or Sunday, so what do they do Friday night and Saturday night?
They socialize. They go out.
So they shift their sleep cycle and they
Mhm.
stay awake later at night. And so this, I guess what I would call this social jet lag.
Right. There you go.
It creates problems in their brain. And so it messes things up.
Right. So to get back to that circadian rhythm, isn't that like kind of divided into two 12-hour segments?
Not necessarily 12 hours. It really depends on the person. Some people might have like a 16-hour and then 8-hour. Other people might have, 17-hour and it's 7-hour. I mean, it all depends.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to learn your clock. That's what I'm trying to say is that we all have different clocks inside of our body. We got to learn to read them. And so then once you know your clock, you build your routine. But then as you age, hasn't your clock changed?
I don't think it's changed much, actually.
Really? I would say that my clock has changed.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I would say that over the time, my clock has changed. So some of the things that we talk about so based on what you were saying earlier, they found that if you eat late at night, if you eat right before you sleep, it's really not healthy for you. Increases your risk of obesity, increases your risk of diabetes.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, they were saying that if you can eat all of your food within one 12-hour cycle, that's better. That's healthier. So if you ate from, say, 7 in the morning to 7 at night, and you didn't eat anything after 7 o'clock at night.
Right. And really what I'm reading is that you want to actually bring that back even further. It's not at 7 at night, make it 5 to 6 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
and don't
Sometimes
eat.
if you get up at 5 or 6, but I don't.
You don't, right? But your bigger meal definitely should be early in the day. Your bigger meal should be right around lunchtime.
Right.
Right about now.
Right. Do you hear my stomach growling?
Yep.
Grrr.
I hear it. Right. But
yeah, because I'm typically kind of intermittent fasting now every day. I don't normally eat until 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
okay. But that's when you should be eating your bigger meal is like that time of the day, because what happens is that when you take a look at eating, your liver is on a cycle too. Did you ever realize that your liver has its own built-in clock?
No, tell us about that.
I will. Thank you for asking me.
Tell us about that.
So,
Okay. Oh, my screen froze up for a minute.
oh, okay. Well, don't watch the screen. Just listen. So what they show is that the liver actually shuts down at night on certain functions and it opens up other functions. And so during the daytime, what your liver does is it produces enzymes that convert your food into energy.
Okay.
Because you need energy during the day.
Right.
But then somewhere probably around 6 or 7 o'clock at night,
Mm-hmm.
your liver enzymes start to switch over, and now they produce enzymes that actually convert the food into stored energy, fat.
I missed that. Stored energy. Oh, so fat, basically.
Right. So during the day, it produces enzymes that produce energy, and at night, it produces enzymes that produce fat.
Interesting.
So that's why you want to eat your food more in the day and then eat lighter meals at night. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and it's gonna have some problems. It's gonna create problems Because a lot of people, guess what they do at night? They get done with work and they say, hey, Andrea, let's go out for dinner.
Right.
And they go
Or
out
they're
or they what?
Or they're snacking all night.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not what they should do. So that's some of the things that I was looking at. And then, we're talking about sleeping. We were talking about sleeping earlier, and they were showing that melatonin, it starts to be secreted in your body about 9 o'clock at night. And this is going to be important with some of the other things that we're going to talk about here. And so your melatonin starts to be secreted somewhere about 9 o'clock in the evening. And then melatonin secretion stops somewhere around 7:30 in the morning.
Really? Oh, well, that has something to do with your sleep for sure, right? It's one of the hormones that help us sleep.
Yeah, melatonin is the brain chemical that helps you sleep. So you virtually don't have any during the day. And so you want to get, in order to boost your melatonin levels, you want to get plenty of natural sunlight, like right away in the morning. Like if you can have your bedroom facing toward the east where the sun rises, so that sun shines right in your eyes in the morning, that's the best way to wake up, because that kicks in that clock.
I don't want that sun waking me up in the morning.
Oh, man. I love it. I got my bedroom facing right toward the east. It shines right through my windows, especially in the summer when we have the sun way up here in the north part of America. And it shines right in my face, and it wakes me up in the morning. I feel that warm sunshine hitting my face, and I'm up. I'm raring to go.
Ready to go.
Yep. And then they show at night, like you were saying earlier, that we want to kind of avoid a lot of those unnatural lights. We want to avoid especially the blue light.
Yeah.
Because blue
Which comes off phones, doesn't it?
Yeah, it messes up with the melatonin, and it can make it so you have poor sleep. So you never want to work on your computer and then go right to bed. Maybe that's why you don't sleep. Maybe, these people, I think of all these young people that are laying in their bed texting.
Right.
They should get that. Isn't there a screen you can get for your computer or your cell phone that it's a blue light filter?
Yeah, they're built in now on some of the newer phones. You can do a night screen.
Night screen. Sounds like a good TV show.
Right.
Night screen. So then exercise. What about exercise? Did you know that there's certain times of the day that are better for exercise?
Well, I was reading about that. I lost my connection. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I was reading about that, and it was saying that really, bottom line is when it fits into your schedule, because it's more important that you do it than what time you do it.
Well, I would tend to agree with you that it's better to do it any time of the day. But really, you want to do your exercise. Like they're saying, like anaerobic exercise, like weightlifting, right?
Uh-huh.
If you're going to start doing curls or bench presses, right? The best time to do that is in the afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, late afternoon, because the built-in clock, the molecular clock in your muscle turns on later in the afternoon.
Oh, that's good to know, because, kind of the general thought process out there is get up and do your exercise, and it does all these other things to help you get through the day, right?
Yep.
And I've already told you that I get like all my power at night, so I'm a Power Ranger at night. And
there you
so
go.
I've always liked to work out at night, so I always felt like, oh, I'm not doing it right.
Right. So what they're saying is that if you think about the way the human body was developed, the way our cycle was developed, we used to work really hard. We didn't have jobs where we sat at computers. We didn't have sit-down jobs. We had jobs where you went outside and you did exercise during the day. And so that's when you did your physical exercise. That's when you did your aerobic exercise. Mm-hmm. And then what you should do is save your heavy lifting until later in the day. So during the day, do your aerobics. Like right now, it'd be a great time to go for a jog, go for a walk, jump on the treadmill. And then later on in the day, do your weightlifting. And so that's what they're saying. And so your clock is designed really to make it so that you have energy, you burn energy during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's designed to restore and reprogram everything at night.
Right.
And when you're young, the thing about it is that you're resilient. You can bounce back. So that's why a lot of young people, when they're in their teenage years and in their 20s, they find that they can, not listen to the clock.
Burn the candle at both ends.
Right. But when you get to be our age and it's like having a high mileage car.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that a lot. I used to push myself and, I'd stay up and do projects till 3 a.m. like when I was in my 30s. And now it's like when I hit that wall, when I'm tired, it's like, go to bed. I just can't.
That's right. Andrea, I have a bunch of research that I pulled up this morning, a bunch of research that I pulled off of PubMed. I'll send it over to you. And for everybody that wants to read this research, I'll post it on the website as well. It'll be here on the Sisel Doctors Clinic page on Facebook. So if you want to show that research to people, if you have those people that want to, where's your research? Where's your white papers? We'll have that.
I always have my research.
I know you do. You told me you have a library on your phone.
I do.
So, okay. So here's why I really got into this, Andrea. This is why I got into this, because people were asking me, well, is it better to take certain vitamins at certain times of the day? Is it better to take certain product at certain times of the day? And I think, sure, it makes a huge difference. Mm-hmm. Right? Like you wouldn't want to take fire and iced tea at 9 o'clock at night.
No. Not unless I stay up all night. Right? Because it creates energy. Yeah.
It creates energy. So that's a daytime product. What about Sizzle Ripped?
I don't know about that one.
So it's a muscle building product with amino acid, daytime product.
Well, it's an amino acid, so it helps repair muscle.
So it's a product that you want to take during the day, and you want to actually take it before a workout. So if you're taking it before a workout, that means you take it before you go to bed. I hate the delay that you're having. We should shut off the video because I think that maybe that's what's creating the problem. Maybe shut off your video.
Can't you shut off my video?
I don't think I can.
Oh, I know. I can right here. Never mind. I'll do it.
Yeah. That way it'll just show a picture of you.
There we go.
There. Maybe that'll make it so you don't have that delay, because I hate talking to you when I got to wait for 7 seconds for you to hear what I said. I
know. You're impatient.
I know, but I just hate it. How about calcium and magnesium? When's the best time of the day to take that?
Well, magnesium, I don't know, good for the brain, good for the heart. Is that in the evening for restoration?
And the
bones and teeth and.
Yep, it's for restoration and repair. But the other thing is that magnesium, when you take a look at a lot of magnesium products, they use magnesium in sleep products.
Really?
So it helps you to sleep better. It has a calming effect. So you should take your calcium magnesium at night, and you should take it at least 2 hours after you've taken zinc and iron, because iron and zinc will interfere with the absorption.
Well, I don't take zinc and iron, so I'm good.
Right, and so iron. Well, and then calcium, magnesium, though, you want to take it at night, but you also want to take it with food. Do you know why you want to take it with food?
Helps the absorption?
Helps the absorption because when you take it with food, with a meal, you're producing all these digestive enzymes, you're producing all that stomach acid, and the stomach acid helps break down the calcium and the magnesium so you can absorb it better.
Great.
Right?
But we're not going to eat at night, so
Well, you don't want to eat a heavy meal at night. You want to eat a light meal at night.
I see. Okay.
So your 5, 6 o'clock in the evening meal, that's when you want to take, and you want to take your calcium and magnesium.
So can we talk about H2 for a minute? It's got magnesium in it, so is that giving us a good source of magnesium?
So based on this, I mean, it's going to have a calming effect with the magnesium. So based on this, then that would say that you want to take that in the late afternoon.
I've been taking it morning, noon, and night.
The main thing with the H2 product is that it's producing energy, and that's why you want to take it during the day. And so, but I take mine at night too. I drink one before I go to bed, and
yeah, I do too.
It doesn't seem to affect anything that way. So I would say that, you know, that would be one that you could take both times. I think it's the calcium and the magnesium together that has more of that calming and that sleep effect.
Mm-hmm.
So and then when you take vitamin A, D, E, and K, do you know what the common thing is between the vitamins A, D, E, and K? No,
I don't. They're fat soluble?
They're the fat soluble vitamins, right? So since they're fat soluble, they're better if you take them along with fat. So those are vitamins that absorb better when you take them with a meal.
I see. What were they again? Just so everybody can hear that again.
Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. And they found that if you take it with a meal, it increases the absorption by 50%.
That's good. We don't normally, though, take a vitamin A supplement, do we? Isn't that because it is fat soluble, you can get too much of that one or something like that?
Well, they did show that in a study, but if you take and look at the actual study on it, they were using a synthetic form of vitamin A when they did the study.
Okay. So that makes a difference.
Yeah, when you look at that. Now, can you get too much of vitamin A? Sure you can, but you'd have to take a lot.
Okay.
It's not gonna be something that you're going to have a problem with. So here's something that I thought was interesting is that, but if you take vitamins A, D, E, and K at night, it interrupts the production of melatonin.
Oh. Okay.
So I would say that based on that, then you're better off taking your vitamin A, D, E, and K with breakfast or lunch. With those meals, it's going to increase the absorption, but it's not going to interrupt your melatonin.
That's a good plan.
So then how about the B vitamins? B vitamins. They're water soluble.
B vitamins are for stress.
And for energy, right?
Oh, and energy. Yeah, of course. The H pill has B vitamin.
Yep, and so does the fire and iced tea. So those are better off taking them in the morning. And again, if you take your B vitamins at night because they produce energy, it's going to make you feel more restless. It's going to get you have some insomnia. And so they say that it's actually better to take your B vitamins, split it up through the daytime. Don't take it all at once. Take it just a little bit at a time.
Okay.
So vitamin C, again, that's water soluble.
Right.
And it helps with calcium absorption, but it decreases the absorption of vitamin B12.
Ah.
So they say that that's better if you take vitamin C with breakfast or lunch.
Okay.
Because it's going to absorb better. How about your fats, your fatty acids, your fish oils, your omega-3s?
Well, probably with food again.
Right, because it's fat, so it goes better with fat absorption. So again, better with lunch or breakfast rather than in the evening meal. How about probiotics?
Probiotics, I don't know, maybe at night.
Bedtime, yeah.
Because you're repairing at night. probiotics can go in there and just reproduce all night long in your little tummy.
Right. And so they say that probiotics should be taken on an empty stomach.
Okay.
So that means 30 minutes before a meal.
Or 11 o'clock at night because you stopped eating at 7.
Right? Yeah, so 30 minutes before, before a meal. Well, they say 30 minutes before a meal with some fat. They absorb better with fat.
You could get one of them chocolate fat bombs. Take that with it.
Take that with it. There you go. Right? How about supplements that are for repairing? Let's say that I go down into my gym and I work out real heavy and I tear up the muscle. When's the best time to take a supplement let's look at the RIP product. That's what the RIP product does.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely you could do it before or right after.
So they say it's best to take a supplement that is for repairing muscle. It's best to take it on an empty stomach, and it's best to take it in the morning.
Okay.
So and then before a workout, like you said. And
right.
So.
Well, I know it worked for me last year when I shoveled snow for 3 hours. And I came in afterwards and took my Sisel ripped and honestly had no recovery time whatsoever from doing that. And normally I would have been like not getting off the couch.
Zero recovery time.
Yeah.
That's cool. How about like products that are designed to control blood sugar?
Well, I would think blood sugar earlier in the day.
Yeah, and about 30 minutes before you eat a meal.
Okay. 30
minutes before you eat a meal. So a lot of people, or not a lot of people, some people have been asking me about a protein that's found on vegetables. It's found on nuts and seeds primarily. It's called lectin. Have you heard of lectin?
Yeah, just last week you were sharing about lectin.
So I did some more reading on lectin. Anytime somebody pops something into my head, I got to go read on it and find out. And so a friend of mine was asking me, well, what can you do to make it so that you can absorb your foods better? And so soak your fruits and vegetables, soak the nuts and seeds the night before.
Really? Kind of like beans.
Soak them the night before. So put them in some water, throw some probiotics in there like some kombucha, some Bragg's apple cider vinegar, and let them soak overnight because those probiotics are going to actually soak in. So now you're going to have a cultured sprouted seed at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting when you start reading about some of the stuff, and Andrea, here's some of the key things. I know we're actually past time for the call, but the key thing that I try and relate to people is that if you jump on our calls, the Sisel Doctor Clinics call, some of the things that we're looking at is, we want to teach people how can you get rid of some of those toxins and how can you fuel your body so that you have more energy and you repair better. And then I'm hoping that between what Andrea and I are talking about, you're going to gain some practical knowledge. You're going to gain some knowledge so you can build some tools. You can throw them in your toolbox.
Right.
And overall, the thing is that wouldn't it be nice if we all became part of the solution?
That would be good.
Yeah, so many people they're not adding anything. They just want to argue. They don't want to add anything. And so this way, by adding some of these things, hopefully we can help people live a healthier life. So Andrea, why don't you put yourself back on video and let's close. I'll let you close the call out.
I will see if I can do that, Doc. Hey, hi. So we're glad you joined us today, this Tuesday in January, and you can join us every Tuesday at noon Eastern Time on Sisel Doctors Clinic Facebook page to hear Doc share some wonderful health information with us, and we're hoping you have a great day. Be healthy.
All right. Have a great day. Be healthy. I like that. Have a great day. Bye.